Section 1. The cornerstone of program success. Understanding stakeholder identification. Program stakeholder identification is a fundamental process. It involves finding all people, groups, or organizations. These parties can affect or be affected by a program. Their influence or interest is very important. Understanding this is crucial for any program manager. It forms the base for effective engagement. This early step sets the direction for communication. It also helps in managing expectations throughout the program. Programs do not exist in a vacuum. They impact and are impacted by many entities. Identifying these entities early helps to understand their needs. It allows program managers to anticipate potential issues. Addressing concerns proactively leads to smoother execution. Effective stakeholder identification directly contributes to program success. When all relevant parties are known, their requirements can be gathered, their expectations can be managed more realistically. This leads to increased support for the program. It also fosters a collaborative environment for all. By knowing who your stakeholders are, you can tailor your approach. This careful attention ensures better outcomes for everyone involved. Section 2. Identifying the player's internal and external stakeholders. Programs involve a wide array of stakeholders. These stakeholders can be broadly categorized. The two main types are internal and external. Internal stakeholders are those within the organization. They are directly involved in or funding the program. Their roles are integral to the program's internal workings. Understanding their positions is vital for resource allocation. It also helps in navigating internal politics effectively. Examples of internal stakeholders are quite diverse. The program sponsor is a key internal figure. They provide funding and high-level support. The program manager and the program team are central. They execute the daily tasks of the program. Functional managers also play a role. They may provide resources or expertise. Employees whose work will change due to the program are also internal stakeholders. Their buy-in is essential for smooth transitions. External stakeholders exist outside the organization. However, they still have a significant interest or influence. They can impact the program's success from the outside. Identifying them requires looking beyond company boundaries. Their perspectives can bring valuable insights. Section 3. The Roadmap to Discovery. Key steps in stakeholder identification. The process of identifying stakeholders is systematic. It involves several key steps. The first step is often reviewing the program charter. The program charter and other initiation documents are key. They provide initial clues about who is involved. These documents outline the program's objectives and scope. They might name key sponsors or beneficiaries. This review provides a foundational list to build upon. Next, program managers should consult governance structures. Existing program governance bodies are important sources. This includes steering committees or advisory boards. These groups often comprise high-level stakeholders. Their input can reveal other influential individuals. Reviewing minutes from their meetings can be helpful. This step helps to understand the power dynamics. It also clarifies reporting lines related to the program. This ensures no key decision-maker is overlooked. Analyzing organizational and environmental factors is another vital step. Organizational charts help identify internal stakeholders. They show departments and reporting relationships clearly. Beyond the organization, environmental factors matter. Section 4. Essential Toolkit Instruments for Effective Stakeholder Identification. Several tools can aid the stakeholder identification process. A stakeholder register is perhaps the most fundamental tool. This is a dynamic document used throughout the program. It lists all identified stakeholders. It also includes their contact information and roles. Their requirements, expectations, and influence levels are noted. The register should be updated regularly. It serves as a central repository for stakeholder information. Organizational charts are another useful visual tool. They provide a clear picture of the internal structure. This helps in identifying stakeholders within the organization. Reporting lines and departmental responsibilities become evident. This tool is particularly helpful for understanding hierarchies. It can pinpoint key decision makers and influencers. Stakeholder mapping tools are also extremely valuable. These tools help categorize stakeholders. A common example is the power/interest grid. This grid plots stakeholders based on their level of power. It also considers their level of interest in the program. This helps prioritize engagement efforts effectively. Other mapping tools might use influence impact grids. Section 5, Real-World Application, Stakeholder Identification in a City Infrastructure Program. Let's consider a practical example. Imagine a city is launching a major infrastructure upgrade. This program aims to implement citywide public Wi-Fi. The first step is identifying stakeholders. This is crucial for such a large-scale public project. The program manager begins by reviewing the project proposal. This proposal was approved by the City Council. It mentions key supporters and initial funding sources. Internal stakeholders are identified quickly using an organizational chart. The Mayor's office is a primary internal stakeholder. The City Council members are also key. The city's IT department will lead the technical implementation. The Finance department controls the budget. The Public Works department might be involved. They manage physical installations on city property. Each department head is a significant internal figure. Their teams will also be involved directly. External stakeholder identification requires broader thinking. Citizens are the primary beneficiaries and thus key external stakeholders. Local businesses will also be impacted, potentially positively. Internet service providers in the area are important. They could be partners or competitors. Section 6. Achieving excellence, best practices for robust stakeholder identification. To master stakeholder identification, certain best practices are essential. Firstly, start the identification process early. This should happen during the program initiation phase. Early identification allows for timely engagement. It helps incorporate stakeholder needs into program planning. Delaying this can lead to overlooked requirements. It may also result in resistance later in the program. Being proactive sets a strong foundation. Secondly, involve diverse perspectives in the identification process. Do not rely solely on the program manager's viewpoint. The program team should contribute their insights. Workshop sessions can be very effective for this. Brainstorming with people from different backgrounds helps. It uncovers a wider range of potential stakeholders. This collaborative approach leads to a more comprehensive list. It reduces the risk of missing crucial individuals or groups. Thirdly, consider indirect stakeholders carefully. It is easy to focus on obvious direct stakeholders. However, indirect stakeholders can also exert influence. They might be affected by the program's outcomes, or they may influence primary stakeholders significantly. For example, families of employees or suppliers of your suppliers.